A very good evening. Dear student, I am Dr. Shamanaz, author, editor, and translator of 26 book. Today I will be discussing one of the masterpiece poem by T.S. Eliot, The Love Song of J. Alfred Profrock. The poem The Love Song of J. Alfred Profrock is the earliest of T.S. Eliot's major works, which he completed in 1910 or 11, but it was published in 1915. It is a variation on dramatic monologue, a type of poem in which there is a speaker addressing a passive listener throughout the poem. It was a popular poetic form before Eliot. Dramatic monologue can be compared with soliloquies in drama. Hamlet, the famous tragedy by Shakespeare, is one of the finest examples of soliloquies used by Shakespeare. The poem The Love Song of J. Alfred Profrock is an exploration of the tortured psyche of the antecedent modern man who is highly educated, eloquent, neurotic, and emotionally very formal. The poet himself is the speaker who seems to be addressing a potential lover with whom he would like to force the moment to its crisis, which are the lines in the poem, by somewhat how consummating their relationship. But Profrock knows too much of life to dare an approach to the woman. In his mind, he hears the command others make about his deficiency, and he berate himself from presuming emotional interaction could be possible at all. The poem moves from the series of fairly concrete, as Elias believed, the physical setting, a city space, which the lines indicate, like the famous patient etherized upon a table, and several other interiors, like the lines woman arms in the lamp and light, coffee, spoon, fireplaces, which are used in the poem. These to a series of vague ocean images conveying Profrock's emotional distance from the world as he comes to recognize his second-rate status. Like he say, I am not Prince Hamlet. So he's facing the same dilemma which once Prince Hamlet has faced. Profrock is a powerful poem for its range of intellectual reference and also for the vividness of the character achieved. The rhyme scheme of this poem is irregular but not random, though a section of the poem may resemble to be free verse, but it has a different poetic form. One of the most important formal feature of the poem is the use of sonnet form, particularly at the end. Profrock displays the two important characteristics of Eliot's early poetry. First, it is strongly influenced by the French symbolists like Mallarmé, Ribbound, and Baudelaire, when Eliot has been reading almost constantly while writing the poem. The second defining characteristic of this poem is its use of fragmentation and juxtaposition. Eliot has chosen to make Profrock an unacknowledged poet, a sort of artist for the common man. This kind of imagery which Eliot has used in this poem suggests that something new can be made from the ruins, like Phoenix. Profrock's end with the hero assigning himself a role in one of Shakespeare's play Hamlet. The realistic anti-romantic outlook which Eliot presented in the poem sets the stage for his later poetic work, including the famous poems The Wasteland. Now, one thing which we have seen is the reference of Hamlet, Shakespearean tragedy Hamlet, again and again. This is also a fine example of intertextuality. Intertextuality means when you are referring a text in other texts. So, thank you. I hope it is clear for you all.